right, what's going on, world? What's going on, my darlings? How you doing today? Let's see. Charlie is napping. It's a very peaceful energy around here today. So let's bring through what wants to be said. All right, what wants to be said? I'm getting a lot of, I don't know what the phrase is to say this, how I say this, but I feel like there are a lot of my animals are around me right now. Rose and Ellie, who have both passed away, Delilah and Stella. Everything has a cycle. Everything has an ebb and flow to it. All right, so life cycles, cycles of situations that you're in right now, everything has an ebb and flow to it. Okay, trust and act accordingly. The phoenix rises to joyful abundance. That's interesting that Phoenix is here because I'm talking about the kitty cats, Rose and Ellie. I so miss them. And my cousin Judy used to have a cat named Phoenix. So that's likely around. Polish your mirror for perfect clarity. So I will read that. I do feel like there's so much Piscean energy around right now. Those of you who are air and fire have maybe a harder time with the water energy. All right, Earth has an easier time with water energy, and of course water knows what water is all about. But this is fire energy here with the Phoenix rising to joyful abundance, and we are stepping into fire with Aries later this month. So I feel like some of you right now in this Piscean energy just have to kind of trust what's going on, just trust that things are going to fall into place. And I feel like the polish your mirror for perfect clarity. I think you're not seeing yourself clearly. I think there's some reason to not trust, right? There's a feeling of, I don't know what's going on here. I'm not sure what's going to happen next. And these messages of the Phoenix rises into joyful abundance can feel a little bit like wishful thinking, or can feel a little bit kind of like Pollyanna-ish or gullible or whatever you want to call it. And in the Piscean energy, we can have, there is a tendency, especially with Neptune in Pisces, there is a tendency to blur reality and fantasy and escapism into fantasy. All right, so there's a little bit of a tendency there. So let's see where we go here. I do see the Eight of Pentacles and I see the Page of Wands. I feel like there is inspiration coming along, and it really starts with your truth. It starts with your truth, asking you to be balanced. Maybe some things have gotten kind of stagnant or stuck. Here's Saturn energy in Capricorn. I don't know why. The bottom of the deck is really speaking to me these days. And here's the King of Cups. So the King of Cups is about what you love. It's about doing something that is worth doing, making art, creating something that's worth doing. And I feel like some of you are having a stagnant time of it, not sure what to do next, not sure. And so there's like kind of like a lack of trust here. So I can totally see that. But I feel like the movement forward comes from inside, comes from recognizing your truth, recognizing your why. And a lot of times, I mean, I've experienced this even with the channel here, is that your why can change over the course of the time that you're doing something. And so what that means is you may not be reaching the same people, right? If this is your work, and we talk about this a lot in the spiritual business class, if your why has changed and you're still trying to focus on the people that you were focused on at one time, there's a little bit of a disconnect, right? There's a little bit of a disconnect there, because it's like, yeah, why is she talking to me? What? So I kind of feel like if you have something to put out into the world, and you know, a lot of times it's the medicine that we use to cure ourselves or heal ourselves is the thing that we are to do in the world, and how we have worked on healing ourselves or how we have worked on growing our growth energy. And I feel like right now in this Piscean time period, that can be a little blurred for people. I'm not sure who I'm reaching. I'm not sure who I'm supposed to be talking to. I'm not sure where this arrow falls. And as a Sagittarian, you spend a lot of time pulling that arrow back, and it's about aim. So what do you want to create? And then allow the universe to move things around so that creates, that is created, instead of trying to back it in. Like, I don't know how I can describe this to you, but it feels like right now things are being backed in. It's like, well, I want to do the same thing I'm doing, but I want a different result. Like, that's not really going to get you in that direction. But what's happening right now is things are being moved around because your why has changed. What you're doing or why you're wanting to do it has changed. So that necessarily is moving you. The universe is moving you to that new group of people who are ready to hear what you have to say, but who may just not have not found you yet. So I'm definitely in that same place, and it's interesting to see that things are in the works inside. And some of us have to unload or balance out. Everything in balance. Everything is about balance. So if we can balance out the Saturnian energy, okay, the moon energy with the sun, if we can balance the Saturn energy with Jupiter, with expansiveness, with joy, right? This is Jupiter, okay? Joyful abundance. That's definitely Jupiter. Fifth house energy, Leo energy. So I'm seeing a lot of fire energy here. And let's see here. Ace of Wands, more fire energy. Knight of Wands, there's Sag. Two of Swords. Four of Wands. There's Leo, my goodness. Nine of Pentacles. Ace of Cups. Wow, we're missing the Ace of Pentacles right now. We have the Nine of Pentacles here. Five of Pentacles. And the Lover's card. My. Two of Cups and Knight of Pentacles, one more, please. Death. All right. So what's going on here is a choice. We have a choice here. The Five of Pentacles is something that we're moving away from. This is a poverty mentality. This is a lack mentality. This is a fear mentality. Give me more about the Five of Pentacles here, please. Ten of Wands, Eight of Cups, Ten of Pentacles, and the Nine of Swords. Okay, Judgment and High Priestess. Some of you are between a rock and a hard place. All right? Some of you, let's just say, in terms of relationships or love, some of you may be creating relationships that are toxic or stagnant. Some of you are creating work that's toxic or stagnant. And we have a new opportunity here based on our truth, based on our intuition, based on what we're doing, okay, to instead of having to choose between a rock and a hard place, these are tens, so tens are the end of a cycle here. It's time for us to move on from a current situation that we've created for ourselves, and that's causing a lot of worry. And the Judgment card here is about choice. Lover's card is about choice. It's about choosing to love, choosing to work at love, choosing to put time and effort into love. And that's transformational energy. The answer is really in the, how am I demonstrating love in my daily life? Am I, kindness, concern, generosity? And also, how am I doing that with myself? How am I feeling kind and generous to myself, even in the midst of fear and lack of clarity and all of that? That's what's going on here, is just a lack of clarity. I don't feel like this is real, that things are, I think it's really kind of like a moon, like a Two of Swords here, which is about blocking any new information. I really feel that there's a little bit of a situation going on here that it's like, I almost see this reading as like, one of these things is not like the other. One of these things just doesn't belong, right? This Five of Pentacles just doesn't belong in this beautiful scenario of new day, moving forward, all of these things. And when it doesn't belong, that's the thing to look at, okay? So there's things that are being deeply held, and there's a disconnect of where you want to go because there's some deeply held beliefs about what I deserve, my self-worth, who cares about what I have to say. I've created something that's overwhelming me right now. I don't know what to do next. And I feel like what's actually happening is really good, but you're focusing, or somebody here is focusing on the negativity of the situation instead of being grateful for what is. That's the energy of inspiration. That's the energy of joy. That's the energy of truth. We have truth and balanced energy here with the Justice card. It's a little bit about, well, the Temperance card is like 1 foot on, usually the angel has 1 foot in the water and 1 foot on land. That's also like the Star card, which is a healing card. And it's about moving, it's alchemically balancing and trying to, take a little bit of that, a little bit of this, following spirit, being inspired. And I feel like that's what's happening here. So Ace of Wands and the Knight of Wands, giddy up. Okay, this is definitely Sagittarian energy. This can be the arrow and the bow that we've been talking about. It's like, what do you want to create? What impact do you want to have in the world? That's where you start. Okay, what impact do you want to have in the world? And I feel like a lot of us are feeling like we're fighting a losing battle sometimes because we're putting out this energy into the world that's positive or joyful or creative or interesting or something, and it feels swamped by negativity. Like there's so much negativity going on in the world. It feels swamped by that. So if you're an empath like I am, you are, which of course you are because you're here, but you're taking in that feeling of negativity and believing that that's the truth, despite the fact that the energy is working in your favor, going toward a new beginning, leaving behind this 3D world, okay? Actually leaving behind the 3D world. 10 of Wands, 10 of Pentacles, and the 8 of Cups. He's turning his back on the 3D world. Now, that causes a lot of concern because there is this balance of, all right, you need to keep your foot in the 3D. You need to keep your foot in the keeping, a roof over your head and paying your bills and all that stuff, paying taxes. We're getting to that time of year. And so there's that feeling of, okay, but I can't stop. I can't just drop everything, right? Like I can't just drop everything and go off on a spiritual pilgrimage as much as I would want to. But I feel like, do the work that is in front of you. And right now it feels like going inside and learning the truth and understanding where you're going so you can, shoot that arrow and you can hit the target, and then you follow along after the arrow. The arrow is way out there. The arrow's at 50 yards or whatever it is, 50 yards, maybe 30 yards. And it's, out there. So you must then follow it up with action. And every action you take needs to be on point, okay? Chariot, Ace of Swords. Every action needs to be on point for what you're wanting to create in the world. So first of all here, I'm seeing this message of, hey, you might not be seeing things too clearly. The Piscean energy is strong right now. And also, so some of you may want to run away from situations, back away, or not back away, slough off a life. Some of you may be wanting to do that. I feel like what the answer is right now, and we'll go deeper into this in the extended, but I feel like what the answer is right now is work on accessing your pipeline to spirit. That's the answer right now. And the choices are coming, the fork in the road is coming, and it's like you almost need to be prepared. So if you're kind of like looking through a, glass half empty lens, what the new thing is, I don't believe you'll miss it, but I also think you might be looking through a negative lens. And so it's time to polish that lens. I'll read this: polish your mirror for perfect clarity. And then we'll go to the extended. Everything you see around you is a perfect reflection of where you are on your path. Yes, everything. Our material universe is designed to be a symbolic likeness of what is created on a spiritual plane. Your relationships are a way to see into this mirror. Think of the relationships you cherish and characteristics you adore in certain people, such as your heroes or mentors. The good news is that these same aspects are in you as your golden shadow. The reverse of this is also true. The most difficult aspects of certain people are the aspects of yourself that you haven't yet embraced or seen fully. This card calls for you to become more honest, for your actions and words to also always reflect your true self. There's that Ace of Swords. Exactly that. I'll read it again. This card calls for you to become more honest, for your actions and words to always reflect your true self, more authentic. By doing so, you become more of a clear mirror, and your relationships will reflect even more peace, joy, and contentment. Remember as well that relationships are not just with other people. They are with food, money, alcohol, work. Your journal prompt today: in what ways am I pleased with what my mirror is reflecting in my life? And in what ways am I seeing turmoil, frustration, and chaos? All right, so I'm going to continue on with this. I will look at, there's a lot of signs here. So if this is your sign or someone you're dealing with, I see Capricorn, Cancer, opposite energies, Libra, Sag, Leo, Gemini, Scorpio, Pisces. All right, I'll look at all of those in the extended. Link is below if you want to come along. If you're part of Pathfinders, rest of the reading starts right now.